Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Another in the series of quick cookery recipes today. I realised I hadn't done one for quite some time. So it's really a recipe for people who can't cook, won't cook, but might like a homemade lasagna. I've always enjoyed lasagna, but I never really made one because they seem very complicated. So this is very quick, very simple. The sauces you can buy, the tomato sauce, the white sauce, and obviously your pasta sheets, and you can get them all very, very cheaply at the supermarket. It's very quick, very simple. So without further ado, we'll get started. Now, it's only, I think there'll be onion in this sauce. I think there'll be garlic in this sauce, but I just like onion and garlic. I don't think you can get enough of them. So I'm going to stick another onion in. Looking for the colander. I think we had this before, didn't we? I was talking about thinly slicing, and I think this time it's meant to be thinly chopped, but one skill I think which I had, which I've never had, is these people who, the chop on the cookery programs. They're incredible. When you get the smallest, you do get the smallest finest amounts of onion. It's not something not a skill I've ever learned. So you get big doorstops of onion. As I say, for a long time we used to just have shop bought lasagnas, and they were okay, but they weren't that pleasant really. And I know this isn't really homemade as in all the fuss. Of like 27 ingredients and 6 hours preparation. I mean, I haven't put a clock on this, but we've been at it. I'll keep an eye on the time. We've been going about 4 or 5 minutes. But I bet this isn't more than 15 or 20 minutes preparation with just a handful of ingredients. This extra onion and garlic is completely optional, and this isn't really a recipe I've got from anywhere. It's just one day I decided I wanted to make a homemade lasagna. So this is what I came up with. And as I say, this onion and garlic is entirely optional, but as is what I'm what I missed last time as well, if you remember, we did the cheese and onion pie, and I forgot to say salt and pepper. I don't really add salt much to my food these days, but I do often add pepper, so if you so we'll start off with onion and garlic and olive oil. So we're going to be doing a little bit of frying. We don't need these yet. As I say, these, I don't think these are that expensive, but you can get them from, well, from all the big supermarket, all the cheap supermarkets, and even in this day and age you can pick them up for not too much money. And this is going to be a pretty big lasagna. What I tend to do is we'll have it for dinner, however many of us there is, 2, 3, even 4 of us, and then the rest I leave in the fridge and I have to pack up or whatever the next day. I think there'll be a meat base now. I did minced beef. I don't know what the other things would be like. You'd have to try them. Minced lamb, minced turkey. Just to bind it a little bit. Give it a bit of body. I don't eat meat, so I've got a bag of corn mince. And that is pretty much it for the first bit. I guess you could add some chopped carrot, you could add some chopped celery, you could add anything you like. I'm going to add, once this is cooked, some peas to it. But this is about the hardest thing now. I think if you look in the recipe books, they'll go, oh, put the garlic in, cook the onion, cook the garlic, add the celery, add the carrots, add your meat. But I'm afraid I just put everything in the pot and cook it until it is red hot and thoroughly thawed through in the case of frozen food. This is going to take a little while to cook the frozen corn mince, so I'll get back to you soon. If you do use beef in particular, because that's the only one I've ever really used before I became vegetarian, it does give off a lot of fat, so once it's cooked through you probably have a lot of fat in the pan, so you'd need to just very carefully drain the maybe get a plate to hold everything in place, and very carefully drain the fat from your mixture without burning yourself. But one thing this doesn't have is a lot of fat, so as you can see I just needed to add a little bit dry, a bit more olive oil. I mean, I've always cooked stuff like this from frozen. If you disagree, or if I'm doing it the wrong way, you know in the comments, but I just think that you're guided by what you think best, but I think the trick seems to be, as long as everything's not frozen any longer, as in thoroughly cooked, all these big lumps are broken down, and I think you're fine. As I say, if I was adding anything to this, I'm going to add some peas, because I like peas in things. You could put baked beans in. You could maybe wash the sauce off them and just put some baked beans in. So the only other thing I'd probably put in would be carrots, really finely chopped carrots and celery. But this would be fine. It'd be quite a substantial meal. Have it with some salad. And if you're only cooking it for two, there'd easily be enough for lunch tomorrow. So you might spend a £5 on ingredients. You get a couple of meals out of it. The kind of dishes, these oven-proof dishes, it's the only thing I'm unsure about. I normally do it in this one, which would be enough for two and some left over for tomorrow, but we've got a visitor tonight, so I need enough for 3. And this just looks a bit big. I'm undecided, so you'll see before we've done how it goes. So we're cooking frozen food from frozen. That's my only concern. There's no uncooked bits left. That's doing nicely. Turn it up for a few minutes. And a bit of heat on it. Put some peas in. Oh, so there's it. There we go. I think there's a lot of myths around cooking, usually promoted by people who've got a cookery book to sell. You have this, you have that, and I mean, spend your time how you want. I don't want to spend my time cooking. I used to do, but I don't anymore. I want to spend my time in the garden or out walking. So when I do have to cook, which isn't half as often as I used to do, I just want it easy. So this, you could make this at 9 o'clock in the morning. You could put it in your dish, and you could cover it and leave it till it was time to cook it. Always reminds me, does that, to put the oven on. Or you could, what I tend to do is, usually do it in the afternoon, cook it, cover it, and then have it for dinner. I'm quite happy to have it cold. You could always warm it up again in the microwave. I would probably just recommend warming it up once, so if you make sure it's warmed up thoroughly. But I'm not a massive fan of warmed up food, so I'll probably cook this afternoon and have it cold, and then if I take some for me pack up tomorrow, maybe warm that up then, and then it's only been warmed up the once. There we go, so we're getting there. So I think, looking through this, all the frozen bits of meat, not meat, the minced soya, they're all cooked. The onions are nicely soft, the garlic's nicely soft, the olive oil's all but gone, what I did put in. And the peas, they'll cook nicely there. They don't really take any cooking. So, tomato lasagne sauce from one of your top supermarkets, one of your 5 a day. It's got tomatoes, water, onion, sugar, salt, basil, garlic, lemon juice, oregano and black pepper. So hasn't got any vegetables, so if you wanted the celery and the carrots, you'd have to have them. And the only thing I'd add them more onion, I'd add them more garlic, and I'd add them more black pepper. And as I'm trying to make this go a long way, just putting 2 in defeats the object of it being a quick and easy meal. I've half filled it with turn the heat up a bit. We just want this to bubble now nicely. Bring it nicely to a simmer. I think what I might do though, these jars can be expensive. Tins of chopped tomatoes are less so. So if, as I'm trying to do, to make this what ostensibly is a small lasagna into a large lasagna, I'll just add tin of shop-bought tomatoes. And really, black pepper, and again that's a matter of taste. You can never get enough. Because I added the water, that's a little bit, and the extra tomatoes, it's a little bit runny now. And to any Italians watching, I mean, why would you? Why would any Italians be watching a 60-odd-year-old Yorkshireman making the cheapest, tackiest Lasagne that you could possibly imagine? But to any Italians watching, turn away now. That's I just do what you want with cooking. The secret is if it tastes good and it don't cost a lot of money and it don't take you hours and hours to cook it. That's the trick as far as I'm concerned. Let's find this ring that I'm cooking on is either too hot or, and this recipe really, what you're looking at here, it's the same for a chilli, it could be the same for a spag bol. So you just use a shop bought chili mix, you'd use a spaghetti, bolognese mix, but so you could have this with a, if it was a chili, have it with a jacket potato, have it with rice, lasagne, bolognese, you could cook some pasta, or as we're doing, we're going to make it into a lasagne. Get back to you in a few minutes. I just want this now to really sort of cook without burning it, but I want it to get hot and bubbling away. So be back in a few minutes. About 5 minutes since we last spoke, and this is doing nicely now. I think everything that was frozen is no longer frozen, so it's been about 20 minutes so far, and I'll turn that off because we're pretty much done. So this is the bit where it could probably go horribly wrong. As I say, I normally would make a much smaller lasagne, but there's more of us today, so basically this is it. Scoop your mixture into your dish. And lasagne sheets. I'm sure I'll be told if this is wrong. I'm sure I will. But no one's ever shown me how to make a. No one's ever shown me how to make a lasagna, and I've never bothered to look it up on the internet. So if it's wrong, it's wrong. Last time I made it, it tasted pretty okay. Jamie Oliver, this is not. It's this white sauce pasta. It's that bit that I don't really get. But I guess as long as you've got everything that you need in there. So as I say, I think I've already said, I'm not saying this is how you make lasagna. This is how I make lasagna. And do you finish the top layer with the sauce? Maybe I've done that wrong way around, I'm not sure. And if I have, does it matter? I think I put all this in though to make it a bit. No, we'll put it all in. If I have made it the wrong way around, does it really matter? There you go, guys. Well, we'll say half an hour, 25 minutes, half an hour from start to finish. Shop bought lasagna mix, tin of chopped tomatoes, just to give it a bit more body, some extra onion, extra garlic, some mince of your choice, bit of extra black pepper. Cook the onion, garlic, mince, lasagna mix, chopped tomatoes, cook it all together in a frying pan, and then build your lasagna with your lasagna sheets your white sauce. You can see what we've cooked has made a massive one. We wouldn't have needed the extra tin of tomatoes if we'd have been using this smaller dish. We'd have had plenty of we'd have had plenty, and bit of grated mature cheddar. There you go. That needs to go into a pre-warmed oven, I don't know, 220, something like that. I'd say for probably about half an hour, 30 to 40 minutes, but we'll check it as we go along. We'll get it put in the oven anyway. See what we're on. Yeah, I've got it about 200, so I'll put it on the middle shelf, I think. There we go. We'll have a look back in about half an hour, see how it's doing. Until then, I think it's time for a cup of tea and a tidy up. Hi guys, I'm back. It's been about 35 minutes now. I just had a quick look at it. It seems to be doing okay, so I'm going to take it out. I've got myself a better cloth because it's really hot, so use a dry, good quality cloth at this stage, or oven gloves. Don't do like I've done in the past, use a wettish cloth because they don't really conduct, they do conduct heat very well, do wet cloths, so you can often end up with some very hot heat coming through. But that, so get it out of the oven very carefully, but that looks pretty much cooked. Most of the ingredients were cooked before we put it in there. So the main thing that you're wanting to cook at this point is the lasagne, which if it's not cooked you'll know about it, but I'm thinking 35-40 minutes in that mixture it will be cooked. I'll just move the camera. I will, as I say, I'll eat this now. I'll probably eat it cold, personally, but it'll be okay tonight to warm it up. I'll probably just at this stage cover it in foil, but I'm sure you're wanting to see what it looks like. There you go, look at that. Pasta's lovely, nice and soft. The filling all cooked. A little bit of your layers of your white sauce and what have you, but what's in the taste test. Yeah, it's lovely. And if you've not got enough pepper, then, or if you've not got enough of anything, you can add it to it now. Just see what the pasta's like. Oh dear me. I just had my lunch while I was waiting for that to cook. I wish I hadn't have bothered. I could That's lovely, guys. Everything's cooked, everything's red hot. The pasta's nice and soft. I hope you enjoyed today's little cookery video on how to do a homemade pasta quickly, easily, and enough to feed. Enough to feed an army there, and it will keep for a day or so in the fridge. So put it in a sealed container and then have it cold for backup tomorrow, or reheat it, but make sure it's thoroughly heated through and only reheat it once. But yeah, if you did like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you've any comments, drop a line below. And if you did like this content or any of the other content on the channel, do consider subscribing. I say it every time, it is early days and I'm trying to establish myself, but for now I will resist finishing that bowl of lasagna and wait for my dinner tonight. But for now, until the next time, I'll say cheerio.